Obviously, let's talk a little bit about Sergino Dest, because his future is uncertain right now. We will get to that, but just because we were talking about Ferran Torres and registering there, and Gemma, you touched on it, still not registered at Barcelona. What's the latest situation with Ferran Torres' signing?
Well, it's not registered because it's not possible yet. Barcelona, you know, they like drama and they like to start the house from the roof down. So beginning at the end, the transfer market, winter transfer market in La Liga, it's still not open. It opens January the 3rd. So that would be the first day. Also, he's injured, so he's not able to play. So they have a little bit more days to register and to make him available to play. But the situation, okay, is the same as before. They have the spending limit. They need to get rid of players. It's not enough with Demir and Luke De Jong. That's funny for Xavi. He's the only forward available for next game in Mallorca. The only one, this player that is not counting on him. So of course they are trying to sell Umtiti and Coutinho, and the deal with Ousmane Dembele to try to have his renewal is really in a difficult moment. So maybe they don't have to pay his wages, but it's not a desirable situation either for Barcelona, because they wanted to try to make some, at least to keep the player or try to make some business, and it's really looking quite bad right now.
Well, Gab did mention Sergino Dest, who doesn't seem to be in the plans of Xavi, so his future's uncertain there with Barcelona. But if his agent is to believe, he is actually wanted by Bayern. Now, we know how the two compare, particularly this season. Barcelona not at Bayern's level. So, Gab, is Xavi missing something here, or is there something that Bayern aren't seeing?
I think the simple fact of the matter is I don't think Xavi has any preconception against Sergino Dest. It's simply he needs strikers, he needs other players, he needs Ferran Torres. And the only way you're going to get that, apart from those fantasies that keep coming out about Umtiti to Newcastle and Coutinho to Arsenal and the other stuff that gets churned out from the Catalan press, the reality is you have saleable assets and you have assets that can't be sold, like Coutinho, like Umtiti, because they make too much money and they haven't performed of late. Sergino Dest is somebody for whom there is a market because he's young, because Bayern wanted him before, because they still definitely could use somebody at right back, an attacking right back. And for all those reasons, and Bayern also have some money to spend. So for all those reasons, he is a guy that you feel that maybe you can sacrifice. Certainly a lot more so than Frankie de Jong or Ansu Fati or people like that. So I think that is the main reason why Dest is in there. I don't think it's Xavi looking at him and saying, like, look, I don't think you're any good. And from Bayern, it's a great deal. If they can get him for even less than what Barcelona paid for him, then yeah, considering that they were after him when he moved to Barca in the first place.
Jan's back in with us now. So, not in Xavi's plans, but in Bayern's for Sergino Dest. Do you see it that way, Jan?
No, what I've been told from Bayern, there is no chance that they will do business with Dest in this transfer window. Yes, there'll be an interest in him, as been said, and maybe they had a need for that kind of player. But Bayern Munich are concentrated in this window to get players out, to get player money in. They have had too many free agents going. He's been offered, he's a part of the Stellar group, but he's been offered to Bayern, he's offered to Chelsea. But there's no takers at Bayern at the moment, and I will be very surprised if he's a Bayern Munich player during this window.
Let's touch on another player that is still at Barcelona at the moment, Ousmane Dembele, but the latest word is that negotiations between the club and the player are said to be breaking down in terms of him renewing his contract. If he wants more money, maybe that's not going to happen for him at Barcelona. Is it better then, Gab, for the club to cut their losses now and let a player like Dembele go? He's free to negotiate from the 1st of January.
He's free to negotiate from the 1st of January, but he'll still be there and still be on their books until June 30th. Unless you find somebody to take him for free straight away, which would be silly because you still need him between now and the end of the year. I think Dembele's agents, and we said the same thing on the Gab and Jules show, are doing exactly the right thing. Just sit tight and wait. You've got a contract through June 30th. until they put a contract in front of you that you like, or until your circumstances change, or until, you know, maybe you can win over Xavi, maybe you can get more money, maybe you get more playing time, maybe you decide that there are other clubs for you. It's not like they're going to take that contract away, because as Gemma told us the other day, if you want to replace Dembele, you got to put real money on the table. So there's absolutely no imperative or urgency for Ousmane Dembele to sign a new deal now, unless it's the kind of deal that he wants to sign and that satisfies everything he wants. Otherwise, could you sell Dembele in January? Possibly, but what incentive would Dembele have to be sold? Because every penny that would go in a transfer fee this January is a penny that wouldn't be going to Dembele or his agents. So he's much better off waiting for free agency if he's going to leave. So I don't think there's any scenario, unless they make him a really serious offer that he's happy with. I don't think there's any scenario where you can somehow push Dembele into putting pen to paper now. You might have a shot come the summer, though.
And Gemma, what's the latest feeling back in Barcelona on the future of Ousmane Dembele?
Well, yeah, as Gab mentioned, it looks difficult that he might be deciding to leave now with a free card, because he will lose the signing bonus. So it doesn't look that smart for him. So I think that the Barcelona's negotiation in this deal, they were very optimistic last week. Actually, they put that renewal in the Ferran Torres operation, saying that they've been talking with the player. He really wanted to stay, and he was accepting a pay cut. Well, everything was not like this, what they were talking. So they are kind of upset, because also it's a player. It's the second most expensive signing in this club's history, and he has only been able to play half of the games in 4 seasons and a half. So both parts are still talking, but his renewal has seen a huge setback, and it looks right now very difficult, because his claims are unaffordable for Barcelona. It's 30 million per season, 30 million for signing bonus, plus 15 million for the agent as a signing bonus as well. So they cannot afford it. And as I was saying, any business school will recommend this kind of tactical, because it comes a new coach, Xavi, he says, I love this player. I really need this player. I need him to stay. Then the president says that Ousmane Dembele is way better than Mbappe. He can be better. And then the president say, we're going to sign Haaland. Then you sign a player for 55 million euros. And then you sit to negotiate and you say, I don't have money, so please pay cut your salary. So it doesn't look very smart for Barcelona.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.